Hi, I'm Erin Wild. I love this Around Town podcast because it brings us to places like the fire station with the firefighters. I mean, who doesn't love a firefighter or didn't want to grow up and be one? So I am with actually the chief. We are at Hood County in Granbury, one of the fire stations. Matt Hohan, you are the fire chief.
Yes, ma'am. I'm fire chief here in Granbury. There's a grand total of 9 departments total in Hood County.
9 departments. Who knew?
Not many.
No, I didn't. And I've been here forever. So we're at fire station number 1 right now.
Correct.
Okay. How many fire trucks, units? Like, tell me about all that you guys have in
Granbury being the counter seat, we're going to have the more stations, more apparatus. We're three stations right now.
Okay.
Station 1's over here by the high school. Station 2, centrally located in town. It is over by the Classic Chevrolet Big Lots area.
Okay.
And then Station 3 is on the far east side of town off of Industrial Boulevard. We have a total of 25 apparatus, and we're 71 members and growing.
And volunteer.
100% volunteer. The only paid employee we have is our office administrator.
So what does that mean for you that your needs are the most? I mean, when we think about firefighters, everybody looks up to you and wants to see the truck, and the reality of life for you guys is, when we're running from the fire, running from the trouble, you're running to it. So how can we help you?
I think the biggest misconception today, particularly with a volunteer department, is that people think that only a specific individual can do it. The fact of the matter is that age and sex and socioeconomic demographics, they don't matter. In our last fire academy, we had a 78-year-old man complete his first academy.
Incredible.
And in the same class, we had a 16-year-old kid. Wow. Men, women, it doesn't matter.
I could do this, you're telling me?
100%.
Wow.
100%. Not only do it, but come out of it literally state certified.
Wow.
And we have an in-house training program that the state provides, and we do the program, and we certify all the way through the program. So you come out of it in 6 months, not only contributing significantly to your community, but you're also state certified.
And it's only 6 months.
6 months.
Where do we do this?
Here in Granbury. Granbury's unique in the sense that we also have a training field, and we extend this benefit of training to not only everyone in Hood County, but a lot of other departments in counties surrounding Hood County. They also send members to our academy. Big benefit of that is that you get everyone on a scene, because that's real typical for volunteer. Very rarely, particularly on a working fire, house fire, car fire, wildland fire, will one department tackle that one call. Usually a whole bunch of departments show up.
Okay.
And what it does is it helps establish a common training, common standard operating practices. And it just gets everyone on the same page. What does that result in when you're on scene? Efficiency.
How often do these classes? Are they every 6 months? I mean, if you just had one,
We have one that's actually just about to start. It starts March 8th. And then from there, the class is actually about, I think it's 10 weeks or 11 weeks this year, them plus our final. Class sizes will range anywhere between 25 and as high as 60.
And so would you say your basic need is people?
People.
You need people. You need volunteers.
And that's not just Granbury. That's every single volunteer fire department out there. And whereas Hood County operates with its independent fire departments, there's other counties out there that have ESDs, emergency service districts, and those ESDs are also volunteer-based. So they have a dedicated tax to the operations of the organization, but they're still entirely dependent upon volunteer personnel for meeting the personnel needs of the organization.
Okay.
So they still need volunteer, even if you're not in Hood County, Tarrant County, Parker County, Johnson County. These counties all have volunteer fire departments, and they need people.
Is it something that's easy to get signed up for? What's the process?
For Granbury, it's very easy. You can just go to our website, gvfd.org, and our application's right there. If for whatever reason you're not in Hood County or in Granbury and you're interested in volunteering somewhere, you can still go to that website and find an email address. Email me, and I'll point you in the right direction, and I'll have someone call you.
That's awesome. Now, outside of that, being volunteer, funds, fundraising, is there a lot that goes on?
For most departments out there, fundraising is a very significant contributing factor to their operation. In Granbury, we are just significantly blessed in the sense that the vast majority of our funds are city provided through
Okay.
taxes. The county, Hood County, also provides a subsidy, and part of our issue is that we're a high call volume organization, and at the end of the day, the people are volunteer. What do you really want them to do? We want them to be trained. We want them to go to our weekly training so that they have their continuing education always going on at all times. They still have their personal lives outside of the organization, church, school, sports, hobbies. By the way, they work full time. And then we have to stack in fundraising in there.
Yeah.
And for us, our priority is our continuing education, serving our community through call volume, and the city benefits us with a significant budget. A lot of other organizations out there, though, fundraising is a major factor for them, and that's how they live and they operate.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to know. You do have some events coming up, though, like a pancake and in different ways that we can come have some fun and
Yes,
give back.
there's a pancake breakfast this coming Saturday at Warren's Backyard. I'm sorry, I don't know the address. It's on the north side of Granbury.
Yes.
And that particular fundraiser's for North Hood County. We plan on being there to support them. I know several other departments plan on being there to support them. And it is just a fundraiser for their organization and the operation of their organization.
Okay. Are there any other really big things that will be coming up that we can help get the word out?
There's a spaghetti dinner for us, and I do not know the date on that. I want to say it is March 8th, but I truly don't know. Because that's still about a month out. And then for the rest of Hood County, they have their annual fish fries or their fundraisers. And typically you're going to see that blasted out in the local neighborhood Facebook pages or maybe their HOA newsletters. That's a big way. And it doesn't seem like contributing $5 or $10 when those mailers come out or supporting the organization by going to their fish fry. You'd be shocked. It makes a huge difference in the long run for those organizations.
And I know you guys always take turns cooking and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The food is wow.
Yeah. It's, well, firefighters like to eat. So.
I do too. What were you drinking over there? Do we still have that bottle of
I unfortunately, I don't have the bottle anymore. What it is when you, anytime
I thought you were drinking on the job.
Anytime I get this bottle out, it's, always tell everyone, first thing I tell them is, relax, it's not a beer. Anheuser-Busch is part of the National Response Plan. And anytime there is a natural disaster or a just major emergency in an area, part of the strategic planning for that area and for the state, major corporations will show up with benefits. And I think it's coming in right now.
Oh, yes. See, I'm like, you got a beer.
Yeah. But it says water on it.
It says water.
And the purpose of it is, worst case scenario, a tornado hits a community and it takes out their water infrastructure. So what'll happen is these companies will show up on scene, literally pick flatbed trailers, semi trucks filled with this water, and they'll hand it out into the community. In our particular case, the way we get this is, and this is through cooperation of NVFC, National Volunteer Fire Council. They help sponsor this program for wildland fires. When volunteer departments have large or even numerous wildland fires in their area, what'll end up happening is that Anheuser-Busch will reach out and they'll offer to make water donations at the stations.
I had no idea.
And it doesn't have to just be wildfire. Again, tornadoes, major ice storms, hurricanes. And it's an entire, I'm almost going to call it kind of like just an out of sight, out of mind network of corporations and businesses that work directly with the state to help get resources to areas impacted by natural disaster and just calamity in general.
That's so neat. And I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't, know anything about that. But just to know that there's a business, people like that who do things like that, that's really awesome. And you're telling me like it's not even carbonated
Nope,
or
it
it's just
is
water.
just straight water. And
I gotta try this.
our guys really like it. Usually everyone goes through about 12 cans a week.
It's just really water. That's crazy. Well, hats off to Anheuser-Busch. So very cool.
And it's, again, you wouldn't really know about the program unless your community was directly impacted by it.
Yeah.
I know HEB's another company that's very big in this. Tide, the dishwashing company, same thing. They have semis with like washing machines on them, and they'll show up into a community. And so
I love that.
there's a whole safety net for in the event of a natural disaster in an area where corporations will get resources into communities that, for lack of better words, lost everything.
Wow, that's good to know. And you learn something new every day, so very, very cool. Well, I thank you for what you do. If there's anything else that you want to get the word out on, it looks like somebody's speeding up to get your signature. The day in the life of a
Right.
firefighter.
Yeah, for being volunteer, I always manage to be exceedingly too busy.
If you want something done, you got to ask a busy person.
Right.
So I'm glad you're here.
Right. At the end of the day, when I talk about being a volunteer, I always like to use one of my favorite quotes. The difference between commitment and involvement is like a ham and eggs breakfast. The pig was committed and the chicken was involved. And we have a lot of people committed, not just in Granbury, but in Hood County and nationwide, to their volunteer fire departments. And it's not just me. It's not just that specific person. It's not even a small group of people. There's a lot of delicate, intricate parts in a moving machine that really is that complex. And it doesn't take much to negatively affect it, but it also doesn't take much to have a major impact either. Community support, even if you don't feel like volunteering, just reaching out there and supporting the organization, whether it be fiscal or maybe you work on their trucks, or maybe you help them with their accounting, or maybe you help them with their ordering, or maybe your company has a specific product that you can provide to the organization at a discount. There's 5,000 different ways to help these organizations, and it's not just physical time and your physical labor on scene. There's a lot of other ways that can be greatly impactful to the organizations.
That is awesome. Yeah, never even thought about that. But yeah, we all have something to offer. So thank you. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day to chat with us.
Not a problem.
And
Thank
thanks
you
for the
very
water
much.
in a beer can. I better get rid of it before I go home, or my kids will be like, "What's gotten into you, Mama?"